Today, it's Bondo time. Alright, so what we got here is, we got some good stuff. This is leftover stuff that I used on the Falcon last year, so let's get some of this stuff mixed up and start slapping it in there. Alright, so let's crack this Bondo open. See if we can get a couple little scoops in there. Alright, so let's get to scooping. Start out with a smaller amount here. We'll figure out how far this is going to go. Got an old dash plaque. And this, I'm going to use that for spreading a little bit. See how that works out. Make sure your hardener's all not hard and everything. See what this does. You've never worked with Bondo before, you have to work with this stuff fairly quick because it'll harden up on you. Yeah, got some on it. A little bit of reposition there. Starting to harden up a little bit. Alright, it's about too hard to mess with now. It's hardening up good. Good. Yeah, it's done. Strip that top stuff off. Alright, so that's where we started at. Just gotta slap some Bondo on it and everything, and then I'll get some 80 grit, work it out, and that's pretty much about where we'll stop at. The 80 grit should be enough because I'm going to cover everything. So, let's get another piece out here and start covering some more. While this Bondo is still a little wet, you could actually shave it before it actually gets really hard. go back and shave it a little bit. That way your sanding is a lot less. That stuff just peels off. So you're actually better off to do this a little bit right when it's starting to harden up, but not solid yet. Right now it shapes very easy. To another piece, because that stuff's hardened up. This one's going to take a little bit more to fill up, but no problem. If you wait for this stuff to get super hard, right now it's got some heat in it, but if you let this stuff get really hard, all you gotta do then is bend it, it cracks, you can peel it right off. So don't try and clean your stuff while it's still a little wet. Just wait for it to dry up a little bit and it chips right out of there. I'm actually not allowing it to dry as much as I should, but you get the idea. Just peel it out of there. I'm all ready for the next go around. Mix up some mold. Alright, all mixed up, ready to spray it. Ready to spray it, Fred. Kind of gob it in there. Doesn't really matter how bad you gob it in there, as long as you work it out after the fact. You hear stuff in the background, that is Roadkill Garage, one of my favorite shows. I watch all the car stuff, streaming and television. Prefer streaming now, those commercials suck.
Not out here.
Gob, 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 gob. Pack it in there. Alright, for the first layer, that's not too bad. Go back and shape that a little bit. If you shape it like this, it just really speeds up your body work time. Once that stuff gets hard, yeah, sand's a lot harder. This stuff peels really nice right now. Let that sit for a little while. Come back with a second coat, and that'll probably pretty much be everything I need to do. Throw a little bit up in the tops. Alright, we'll put that one off to the side and grab another one. Stop. Alright, got another batch done, so slap her to it. Oh yeah, I like the way this one's working. You gotta ooze it in there. Yeah. Just like cleaning your spreader though, if you get Bondo on your hand, give it a minute to dry just a little bit, and you can peel it right off of there. Never used Bondo on a car. This is no different. Okay, now I can starting to feel it harden up just a little bit. Now, if this was a car, I'd be all worried about things being clean and everything, but this is just Bondo on wood. Shape it a little bit and wrap it, cover it. She's starting to harden up now, so time to quit playing with it. Otherwise, I'll start tearing it up. And yes, you can use your finger. Actually helps smooth things out a little bit. Just didn't put that crap all over your hands. Okay. See, when it starts to harden up, it starts to ball. So once it starts balling, you really don't want to play with it too much, other than shaping it. Also, the easiest way to clean this after the fact, let that stuff dry and harden, and then all you gotta do, bend it, it breaks, chip it off. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's all over my hands. Right now is the time to shape it. The more you shape it here, the less sanding you have to do. Basically all I'm doing is cutting off the high spots. This is just the first layer. I'll have to add a little bit more once that stuff all hardens up. Sand on it just a little bit, find out where I'm at, where my low spots are, and then we'll mix up more and do some more. Until then though, this is about as good as it's going to get for right now. So, I'll get that crap off my hands. Alright, so another thing you can do after this stuff hardens up a little bit, you can tell it's getting pretty hard now. You take a razor blade, lay it over like this, and drag. You can, if you work it like this, back and forth, you can still shape that stuff. You can lay it down flat like that and drag it and cut the high spots off. Just take some time. This just helps you rough it in, that way when you go to sand it, you don't have near as much to do. That is already taking a nice round shape right there. Move over to this side here a little bit. Right down, pull, shave this. So this stuff is hard now, so it's not as easy to shape once it gets hard. Bubble right there. So as you can tell, that's starting to round out really nice. Once that's sanded a little bit with some 80, shoot a little primer on it or something, and then it should be ready to wrap. And yeah, I'll go back and add a little bit more. That was just the first coat of Bondo, but for the most part, that's working out pretty good. So I will continue on with that stuff, and we'll show you guys how it turns out here in a little bit. What I'll do here is sand on this just a little bit, just kind of take any of the rough edges off and everything, find out what I have to do for the next coat of Bondo. So let's sand a little bit. Give you a little close up here. You can see in the dark areas right there, that's a low spot. Anything that's kind of light gray that's a spot that I've sanded on. So that tells me I've got to go back in and add a little bit more. Won't be much though, because like I say, this is all getting covered with material, so even a little divot like that probably won't make any difference, but we'll get that all filled in and everything. I've got all of these to do, so I will get busy and get that stuff done. Alright everybody, got my champagne well cut in this one, got my cup holder in there, and everything is looking pretty good on getting everything rounded. Obviously we got some dark spots right in there. We'll have to fill that up just a little bit, but in all honesty, I'm probably not going to worry about it too much, because once I pad this and cover it, that stuff's not even going to be there. Carry on and get the rest of these all finalized. They're all getting close. Still have to cut the other champagne wells, do a little bit more smoothing and everything, but it's getting there. Alright, it's a getting there. Not much more to do before I can call that one done. I've got my champagne wells cut into the tops of those. So we got 3 champagne wells. We'll do some more cup holders, probably do probably 3 more cup holders across the bottom here. But that one's done, this one's done. Got some cup holders to do on that one, and over here on this one, sorry, playing with a tripod. This one's pretty much about done. We will get these all locked up, tied up, done, whatever, and put them back in the bus for a little while and make sure that they're gonna fit the way they're supposed to and everything. That's a happy Saturday right there.